more primal, more bestial. He started hunting like a jungle animal. He changed so much that he took a new name for himself. Kraven the Hunter.
What's going on, moviegoers? So we know that Sony is still planning to do their Spider-Man villain universe. After Venom was a huge success at the box office, it is definitely going to be getting a sequel. Especially if you saw that first post-credit scene that had me lose my mind. I got so excited. I was like, I am definitely all on aboard for a sequel to Venom. I like that movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was slow at the start, but once things start to pick up, you know, it got good. And they just announced that Morbius the Living Vampire, starring Jared Leto, will start production early next year in February. Kind of skeptical about that, but I'm going into the film very open-minded. I like Jared Leto as an actor. And the screenwriter for Kraven the Last Hunter came out and said that Kraven and his standalone film will be going face-to-face with Spider-Man. Now, some are speculating that Tom Holland will have a 6-movie deal with the MCU, then cross over back with Sony to do their movies, or Miles Morales, they can introduce him, or, you know, even potentially have Andrew Garfield back as Spider-Man in their universe, which I wouldn't mind as well. But for Kraven the Last Hunter, for fan casting, if I had to cast, you know, if I had to cast 4 people, I have a list of 4 people for who I would like to see helm the role as Kraven. Jason Momoa. I feel like Jason Momoa would fucking absolutely wreck that shit as Kraven, but he's Aquaman. Never say never, y'all. Dave Bautista's about to jump ship and go to the DCU and star in Suicide Squad 2. It's crazy as shit. But I feel like Jason Momoa would do a good job. Benicio del Toro. Benicio del Toro is a fabulous fucking actor. I mean, you can't go wrong with Benicio del Toro. He is great. But he's a collector in the MCU. So who knows? Joe Manganiello. Joe Manganiello is Deathstroke in the DCU right now. He was at the end of Justice League. But I feel like he'd be a badass Kraven. And my last, which I would pick out of all of them, Idris Elba. I feel like Idris Elba would helm the role perfectly. And I feel like he'd be so committed to the role. I feel like he'd be a badass as Kraven. Can you imagine an Idris Elba Kraven going up against an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man or a Tom Holland Spider-Man? That shit would be awesome. I cannot wait for this Kraven movie, you guys. I'm pretty pumped, especially since the writer said that he's drawing inspiration from Kraven the Last Hunt, which is a phenomenal fucking comic book. I'm gonna read you guys the synopsis on that comic, but I'm pretty pumped to see what direction they go with this movie. Obviously, they can't go directly based off the comic because some things happen. But I heard that they're trying to get director Antoine Fuqua to direct the film. Now, if you're not too familiar with his work, he directed Southpaw, good fucking movie, Training Day, and The Magnificent Seven. So his work definitely precedes him. He's got some real good talent. Really good talent as a director. Now I'd like to see him actually helm this role and, you know, have, you know, some good creative control over this movie. But let me read you guys some of The Last Hunt out of the comic. I don't know if some of you guys are too familiar with the comic, but this is pretty much like the whole synopsis of it. Realizing that the best way to beat Spider was to become him, Kraven began his final hunt. He managed to subdue the web swinger, buried him alive, and then began to impersonate him. In doing so, Kraven was able to bury some of his own personal demons, believing that he has now had faced all of his life's challenges. Kraven committed suicide. Since then, Kraven's son has taken his father's place as the Lionskin Clan hunter. So obviously they can't go directly from that, but they can take some stuff from that comic book and have it into their film. But I'm pretty excited for, you know, this whole Sony universe, you guys. I think it's gonna pan out to be good, you know. I think that, you know, they're in good hands. I think they are, you know, especially after Venom. It was definitely reassuring to me to be like, okay, I like the direction you guys are going in. I can appreciate this. But I'm pumped, you guys. I can't wait to see or hear more news with everything coming out, next year, especially Morbius, the Living Vampire, such and such. I'm curious to see how everything will progress. But post your comments down below, you guys. Let me know what a fan casting for Kraven you guys would have. Name your actors. Post your comments down below. Let me know. And thank you for taking time in your day to watch Zero Productions. Peace.